While waiting for the bus, Miss Schaefer said, "Get off the gate, it's not for swinging." But I knew better. Another on the playground, I don't recall her name, but she yanked me by the arm right off the swing set and screamed, "Don't call me old lady." I was only trying to yo lady. And one time I wasn't doing anything, so I was sent to the principal's office. But that was when days were for doing nothing when you could, when swings were for saying anything that came to mind. Fences were just in the way, and every kid knew the truth. Gates do that for a reason, and it goes against nature not to swing them. It's called way out. Just throw him in and then he'll swim. That was my brother's thinking. This section is titled Age 8, by the way. That old adage about not sinking, two choices. Which would I do? I sank. Well, first I flailed and kicked and tried to scream, gulped the river in. Then I sank and tasted it right up to my ears. Dirt and sand and Susquehanna seaweed. There was something metal, something stone, and something slick, the faint flavor of dead fish. At last, he must have realized that his plan wasn't likely to succeed. He pulled me up, water rolling off me like streams of sunlight. I coughed and spit, gulped air like my lungs had forgotten how. Then I tried my damnedest to kick my brother in the shins, scored instead his ribs. On shore minutes later, sitting down, quaking in a musty towel, I could not yet stand. Hopeless, he said. And Father spanked him later because I walked home alone. I can still taste the river. Age 11. In the chlorine blue YMCA pool, a handsome blonde lifeguard, tanned and toned, instructed us on how to tread water in the deep end. He lived downhill from my house, and in his backyard pool, he had always been kind and patient. Today, I could barely keep my head up, and water swooshed between, around my toes. My arms were weak and shaking. I sucked chemicals up my nose, sterilized and clean, warm as a bath at home. I was the youngest, so baths were never hot by the time it was my turn. But it wouldn't hold me up. And pool or not, I could still taste the river. Somehow, I was gripping the edge, palms on its gritty concrete lip, slipping, edging myself sideways until my wrinkled fingers clutched the ladder. Quivering elbow to wrist, I said, "I can't do this." He frowned and pulled me out, set me to the shallow end where I waited with the younger kids. When I looked back, he looked away. Nobody said a word, though. My pale skin had flushed and paled again. Then I smiled. I was in the water, but now I could touch bottom, and I couldn't taste the river. Age 13. I stood on the bank under the old black bridge, my toes clenching around pebbled sandstone, secretly down there digging in. My friends just dove. We'd been splashing in the shallows. Now their feet kicked up spray at me. Arms over arms, faces turning to breathe with each stroke. They swam all the way out to that first pier, past where the water was over our heads. Knee-deep from its concrete ledge, they called to me. Not far off, nearing fast, the train's whistle blast, metal above us thrumming with its approach. I hadn't told them I couldn't swim. Time leaned forward. Sun beat down. I rocked, balls of my feet to the heels, as the coal cars rumbled overhead. The water shadows shimmered. I dove, clumsily stubbing a toe in the shallows, out into the deep. Lifting my feet, I noticed the river pulling me south, but holding me up somehow. I lashed with both arms anyway, for the current was capable of sailing me right past the pier before it was in reach, scooping my palms, arm over arm as I had seen them do. But faster, kicking with a skill, a determination I didn't know I'd had. I forgot to breathe until I touched the pier, and they tugged me up, laughing and splashing my face, but who cared?